Hey everyone, Michelle here from Scrappy Soul Sister. Thank you for joining me. I am participating in the Mix It Up Monday YouTube Hop, and very excited to participate. This is the first time I participated in this particular hop, and this is the sketch that we are using this month, and very cute. This is by Scrapping Harder, and I really love like the circular aspects of this sketch, and I love the mix it up element. I tend to use collections, and so this will be a great challenge for me to pull things from different bits and pieces. And so, what I thought I would do for these round elements is I have this stencil of probably like a dahlia type of look that I would thought I would do in those three areas. I might do like a couple in like a couple different distressing colors, and then one in modeling paste in those three areas. And says cool title, so I'm going to use one of my acrylic titles. I pulled Good Life and Lovely Day, so we'll see which one of those works the best. And I have these three pictures. So we just got back from Disneyland, I don't know, 10 days ago or so. And so I have these pictures. These are like the first hour that we were there, some of the things that we did. So this is my daughter and I in front of one of the flower booths down one of like the little side alleys there off of Main Street. And I made this one a little bit bigger. In the sketch, it has them all the same size, but I kind of wanted a focal picture, and so that's what this is. And then my daughter and I, and Mary Poppins with my niece Jessica, and then our one of our favorite snacks, garlic pretzel bread there at Fantasyland. And so those are my three pictures. So I pulled some pieces from Flower Emporium. Not sure which I'm going to use yet, if I'm going to use all of them, but one of these will be the background, and then a couple for matting or to make embellishments with. The sketch has this little bit of different pattern paper off to the sides. I thought I would just cut one of these and use half on each side for that element. And then the other couple collections that I thought about using is this chrysanthemum from Pink Fresh. This Simple Stories Life in Bloom. And so I have a sticker sheet and some embellishments from that. And then this Hip Kit Club paper. Now, the Pink Fresh and the Simple Stories were part of this kit, this Hip Kit Club. This was a while ago. It might have been 2022 or 2023, but I love this paper. I actually got a couple of each paper because I really love this collection so much. So I thought this might be good for this background portion. So that is my plan. So let's see where we go. So I'm going to go with the blue, mainly because it is a little bit lighter, doesn't have a pattern. So I think that the mixed media that I am going to do will show up on it much better. But you can see I have trimmed down that Hip Kit Club paper, and I have cut my 4x6 card in half. And so those are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and trim my paper down. I have many a time scrapbooked a page and then realized that it is 12 1/4 inches tall. So thankfully I didn't miss that on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges with hickory smoke to kind of pick up that black that's in the flowers. Now, usually it's rare that I use black soot or black for inking my edges. I find gray to be a little bit softer and a little bit more forgiving. And so I have that. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my paper because when I stencil in my flowers, I'm going to do it to that white, that notebook looking paper as well. So I'm going to get everything on here, go ahead and adhere. I'm just using the grid on my mixed media glass mat there to ensure that those are level. And I'm going to go ahead and bring out my paper cutter and go ahead and back my photos. I decide to go with the pink. You'll see that here in a moment. There it is. And then I am also going to do my center picture in that purple polka dot, and I am going to back it on foam. So it's going to sit just a little bit higher than the other two pictures. So I think I have everything there the way I want it, and so I am ready to stencil. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mask off because these flowers are pretty close together and I just want the single flowers in each area. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and mask off anything that might show. And I am, for this first pass, I am going to use Quiche Flamingo in a distress ink. And I really like how that goes on. And I won't show you the other two areas. In fact, all this mixed media, I'm just going to show you it one cluster. So I have another floral stand or floral stencil with a similar flower, but they're a little bit smaller. And so I'm using that with just a stencil brush and a glossy texture paste. And then for my one more layer with this style of flower, I'm adding some what I think that it might be Villainous Potion. And I just added the shavings and a little bit of water. I tried with my watercolor palette there first, and it wasn't bright enough. And then finally, I did those yellow flowers with uh, a yellow spray and a texture paste as well. I neglected to film it, but you can see them there. And then I'm adding some splatters. I already did the white, and now I'm going to do black. And this is Shimmer's paint. It is crow's feet, and then the white was the Dina Wakley glossy uh, uh, media spray. All right, so my mixed media is done. I'm going to go ahead and attach my photos and then start working on embellishments. And so I do show you um, pretty much everything in this video. Lots of times I will focus on one thing and just show you the highlights of other things. But in this video, I'm going to show you a lot of the selection process in the embellishments. And so I do decide to go with that lovely day as the other one was blue and I didn't want it to get lost in the background. And also lovely day just seems like a Mary Poppins thing to say. And so I'm kind of cutting out the little white flowers out of that Hip Cake Club, some of those flowers that I had in my stash that I had previously cut from one of their papers. I'm using a lot of the Flower Emporium florals. I mainly stick with yellows and then things with a pinkish hue. And yeah, just trying to figure out how I want those to lay out. And then with that upper cluster, I do move that frame and my title up a little bit and to the left. So it doesn't feel like it's sitting right on top of the one that is at the bottom of the page. So I'm looking through my chrysanthemum little stickers there, the little round embellishments, and I'm going to add one of those to each cluster. I've added a little bit from Flower Emporium under our photo, and I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines and go ahead and do my journaling so that I make sure I have plenty of space to do that. And I'm just going to write in there that it's, our first hour at Disneyland. And the three things that we got done right away, which is that selfie off of Main Street, the photo with my niece and my daughter and Mary Poppins, and then the yummy pretzel garlic cheesy bread. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that little bit down. And then I'm going to play more with those clusters. And that is going to be pretty much the remainder of this video is taking a look at how I want those florals to look. And there I'm moving over that cluster up above and trying to get it so, I definitely want my um, pink flowers underneath to show, and so trying to do my embellishments in such a way that if they're not like totally exposed, at least there's bits and pieces that are poking through. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those flowers down below. I am using liquid adhesive quite a bit. I'm also using foam adhesive along some of the edges so that they have a little bit of lift. I'm going to use a few chrysanthemum flowers here and there. And let me see. I'm going to go ahead and start adhering that cluster to the left, adding some foam tape. And then the bits, I like it when there are bits kind of hanging off the edge of the papers. It kind of gives you the feeling of abundance, even without adding a whole lot. I don't know that might just be me. I'm totally open to that. But that is kind of my thought process. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that frame up above, adding a few more little white flowers from the Hip Kit Club 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to trim out a few more because I want to have those in each cluster. So I move the single over to the bottom right, and I'm going to use the double pieces there along the left. And then I grab some word strips from the Life in Bloom sticker sheet. And so I'm going to use those. And yeah, there are those little round bits that I mentioned earlier, trying to figure out which ones I want where. And there was one that I struggled with a little bit, and then I just totally switch it out. I think it's that one that says happy or lovely up there at the top right. I go with one that is like 100% floral instead. I had felt like there was a bit of words going on, and I already have happy in the little yellow strip. So, I mean, we're happy, but um, you don't want to be too repetitious. And so I am adding a couple little pennants. Now I add those to the top right and then the bottom right. I didn't really feel like I needed it on that left cluster, so I'm going to leave well enough alone over there. And I like how that bottom part is turning out. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere a bit and then go ahead and also stick down my word sentiment there with double stick foam tape. And so that's what I'm doing off camera right there. All right. And so I think Oh, so I've cut along the edges and waste not, want not. So I'm going to use the yellow bit that I cut from the bottom. Going to use that at the top. I'm going to go ahead and um, shake my layout a little bit, make sure I have everything adhered the way I want it to be adhered. And I was looking for like the little word strip there that I wanted to put on that left side. I lost it, could not find it, and so I stuck a little foam tape down so I would have somewhere to put it as soon as I did find it. I cut my frame to match the edge of the paper, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere those Black Eyed Susans. And I think I'm getting relatively close. I'm going to adhere my title. And other than that, there might be just a few little details. I'll find that little word strip. And this layout is pretty much complete, other than just a few details. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hit like or subscribe and check out all the creators who are participating in the hop. Lots of creative people out there. So thanks again and have a great one. Bye, everyone.